dutchsinse failed to predict a Daytona, Florida 3.7 magnitude earthquake that was at the following coordinates: 29.765 north by 79.377 west, and it was at this timing, 2016, July 16th, 2010 seconds hours, UTC, or 10 seconds, almost exactly 10 seconds, past 4 p.m. You know, like a countdown from 4 p.m., 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, boom. The U.S. Navy littoral combat ship, the USS Jackson, an all-aluminum trimaran ship, and this first Independence-class variant successfully put out, survived a series of 3 10,000-pound full-scale shock trials test bombs set off nearby, and the bombs were set up closer and closer to it to see if it would warp it. See also the USS Oliver Hazard Perry, which was put through the same treatment, wasn't damaged badly enough to say that it failed, but it still had warped bulkheads. That's an older ship. Littoral combat ships are used off of coastlines and are for close-in support and safety, and the USS Jackson is an all-aluminum ship. And it's a trimaran or something. It's just this weird-looking thing. They're really cool-looking. The idea is you beat the hell out of it and see if it would get damaged, and it survived quite well. If a ship can get itself mostly out of the water, be very buoyant, and still be able to distribute a lot of weight, and be able to maneuver and stuff, you know, you get the idea. Anyway, some people like Weeping Willow, however, said it has to be an earthquake, and it's some sort of cover-up, because before it said that it wasn't at 0 kilometers deep. Earthquakes that happen at 0 kilometers deep over the ocean means it's in the water. How deep is the water out there? Now, if it's less than a mile, then it can be the plus or minus failure value here could say that it's actually not in the ground itself, so it's not an earthquake. If anyone has a snapshot, a real one, of the original listing on the U.S. Geological Survey's page, I have this one listed here, you might be able to, you know, show that they changed something. But watching people in the YouTubeville decide that this is some sort of cover-up of the East Coast sliding into the ocean, all the fearmongers, like Weeping Willow, angry as frag about finding out that it's got a completely explainable thing. So this is the one time in history that dutchsinse didn't have to predict an earthquake there. Because it wasn't an earthquake, it was a man-made explosion. And I love the idiot comments. Well, it had to be a nuke. Only a nuke can do that. No. If you get an explosion going off in the waters, you know, you can have inversion layers in water or whatever. If the explosive shock wave goes into the ground or into the ocean, if it's got a shallow enough depth, it can echo through the rocks and look just like an earthquake. Most atom bombs going off are hard to distinguish from earthquakes, but the fact that someone filmed it and you can go look it up, not fake. Anyway, you can look up all sorts of things. I didn't know it's called a full-scale shock trial, or just shock trial and then USS for the ships. The reason you put that in is USS means the ship. And you can see all sorts of them. I mean, they beat the hell out of these things. I thought they only did it with derelict ships. Derelict. Mugatu. So anyway, so we get to all say it together. dutchsinse didn't have to predict an earthquake that day. He's also the first and only posting as soon as possible, because he just happened to be monitoring. He's like, what the hell's over here? Part of his little live stream, it was cut short because they're like, you're not supposed to have earthquakes there. The other thing is, they moved it ahead of schedule. Apparently they do these quite often. They try to blow up their ships to see if they'll get damaged. And because these ships are supposed to be used off, close inshore, I guess they decided to do it closer. I don't know. But that's useful. Anyway, you can look up all that stuff if you want to. I just thought I'd just make fun of dutchsinse and tweak his nose a little. Also, look up, I've got the listing below organized by time date. I'll try to get it that way. How many people got this wrong and won't acknowledge it? The ego is strong with some of them, so it becomes a conspiracy theory. So every time they make a mistake, like let's say a website, I don't know, makes a mistake about the meteors entering the atmosphere, oh, that's a cover-up. Every time you can't get your debit card from the U.S. government to work. How many people have looked up that story since then? You know, all the food stamp beneficiaries rioting in the streets, food riots, the sign of the second coming. Haven't heard anything, not a peep at anybody. How many of you people, some people actually watch my channel because they literally watch this stuff. They believe in this stuff, they need to. So I'm going to cover a couple of things this week that are going to tick people off. The 22 signs of the apocalypse that are all supposed to be confirmed according to various religions, and what they actually said and what they're based on. Not interpretation, not interpretive dance squad here. No. I'm actually going to do a series of videos, or hopefully just one or two, that list every single thing that every religion says has to happen before the end times, the attitude of the people saying these things, and the mind-twisting amount of misinterpretation they do to say that all of these things have happened except like 7 or something. If anybody has a cross-reference list like that, put it below. My challenge to myself is, since these are really short quotations from a series of books, or more actually a series of folk tales from 300 BC to 300 AD that were clumped together to become what we now call the Old Testament, not the New Testament, the Old Testament, I'm going to try to teach myself Koine Greek, Aramaic, and Hebrew just well enough to be able to figure out where the game of telephone screwed up. Pretty sure it's pretty recent. You know, that's a little tidbit, or a bid tit. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And I didn't get any bad comments today except people saying neener neener. No neener neeners. My rock. Bye.